have chosen to test this station's destructive power on your home planet of Alderaan, named the System Alderaan.
Bulky religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good flashback coming up on Alderaan.
You may fire when ready.
I feel like we just got stung with some hardcore copyrights. Welcome to Alderaan Explosion, Season 2, Episode 1. I am your host, Dylan Blight. Today, joining me as we count down to Solo, a Star Wars story, Ciaran Marchant.
Alt, who goes there?
I don't know if that's a Star
No,
Wars.
that's not a Star Wars thing. I just did it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
Ashley
it's fine.
Hobley's here.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey.
There you go.
Hey.
Ash go, right?
Hey, good on you.
I legit can't remember how we opened Season 1, so that's fine. Just chuck out whatever quotes you want. And joining us, Nicholas Pryor.
I am Archer, leader of the Gorgonites.
Yes, that's where Alt, who goes there. All right, this is now a Small Soldiers podcast.
Why? Terrible.
Gorgonite gangbusters, here we come.
Nope.
Upcoming episode of What Do You Want to Watch, which you can find at explosionnetwork.com.
Fucking hope
We haven't
so.
even started the actual show, and someone's already pimped their own show. Fucking hell.
This is top 5 in the Alderaan Explosion show.
And,
Oh my
This is a bit of
God.
an early late night for me, so let's get mowing.
Oh my god. If this is your first Explosion Network content, I'm sorry. But this, we will be, for 3 episodes, we will be talking all things Star Wars and Solo. The Han Solo movie. How many times can you say Solo and link it into that? Many
We should have all
times.
been drinking Solo. God
I love
damn
Solo.
it.
It's a great drink. The differences between the first season and this season is first season was we were watching something every week. This week is simply going to be, or this season is simply going to be 2 episodes, talking down and breaking down a few different topics about the movie, discussing it, theories, what we think about it, all sorts of that stuff. And then, of course, the third and final episode will be discussing in full length the actual movie. So episode 1, we kind of go through, talk about all the main characters of the series. With some characters we have more details about than others. Of course, we have many details about Han Solo and Chewie and Lando, etc. Some of the new characters we know a little bit about. Lucasfilms put out a little bit of information about them. And then some other characters we know sweet fuck all about, and we can kind of theorize a bit, look at them, and what you would like to see out of them. And then in episode 2, we're going to go into more like predictions for what the movie, what's going to happen, that sort of thing. But this first episode is going to be basically checking out the trailer, talking about the movie, overall thoughts, and then breaking down the characters and that sort of stuff. So let's jump into it. We're going to start the show off with, I'm going to give you the synopsis for the film. We're then going to watch the second trailer that they put out, or like the main one that you'll see if you go to a cinema, like the official proper trailer. And then after that, we're also going to watch the featurette or feature thing they dropped quite recently. Two Star Wars trailer things to talk about, and we're going to get your opinions on those after watching them. So in case you don't know what the official synopsis of Solo, a Star Wars story is, it is: board the Millennium Falcon and journey to a galaxy far, far away in Solo, a Star Wars story, an all-new adventure with the most beloved scoundrel in the galaxy. Through a series of daring escapes, deep with dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian in a journey that will set the course of one of the Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes. Don't give me that look, I know him.
Is
Star
Lando
Wars.
like, is like,
Pronunciation doesn't matter.
is Lando like just like a repeat offender for crashing his spaceship into other spaceships? Like
Maybe.
just lots of collisions?
Yep, Lando collisions. Okay, so we're going to watch the Solo, a Star Wars official trailer now.
Okay, so we got to be super quiet. Sit with us, people.
No, you can say whatever you want.
Can I?
Yeah.
You're after something.
Amelia,
I love the song.
The music,
It's interesting.
Yeah.
There's guitar in the Star Wars movie.
it's like Western shit. It's awesome.
Yeah. There's Lando. It was pretty great.
Or is it something else? You look good.
I'm worried this won't be actually what the music's like in the movie, and it's just like a piece for the trailer.
Yeah.
I think it's a reaction to the cut they did with Sabotage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So glad we took this job!
Chewie dies. Holy shit.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Who does-
Does Han Solo just keep replacing his Wookiees, but just keep calling them Chewie?
That is a
He's
legit,
like
that is a
Geralt and
legit
Roach.
theory someone had. That's a legit theory someone had. Okay, now we're going to check out the behind the scenes feature thing they put out.
We're just doing them back to back. We're not talking or anything about
Nope,
the
just
first
back to back.
Let's do them back
one?
to
Okay,
back.
shit. Dylan's driving
This
a
podcast
freaking
is
slave
going to be
driver.
easy.
He's just like, okay, go.
Star Wars universe that we see in Solo was different
Solo.
from anything else that we've seen in any previous Star Wars movies. The Empire controls everything. Everyone is struggling to survive, but we
That's
discover
so
this
different.
incredibly free spirit.
We're meeting Han right before he becomes the Han that
He does
we
these
know.
stupid things that should never work. And they do.
You see a lot more in this trailer, in this teaser.
Yeah.
New footage.
I might be the only person who knows what you really are.
What's that?
A ridiculously handsome son of a gun. I still don't like that it's called Solo.
What would you like it to be called?
I don't know, but just Solo, a Star Wars. Like, I don't. There's just something weird about.
Han Solo Origins.
That's way worse.
No, Han Solo, Star Wars Origins, a Star Wars story.
New Hope, the pre-sequel.
Nope, that is way worse. All right, so after watching those two things back to back, is there anything that jumps out at anyone that they would like to point out, talk about, or note?
Music's cool. Lando's cool. Still not excited.
You're still
Welcome to the
not
podcast.
excited.
Yeah, he's never been excited. Nick has been on the.
I don't like Han
Nick
Solo
has
as a
been-
character.
Oh, I remember
But,
you telling me this now.
but,
Then why'd you agree to be on this season of...
No, he's allowed to be here. All opinions are allowed. It's not like you can only be on the podcast if you like Han Solo. We run an open nation here, multicultural one, some would say.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to be one of those things like you go in saying you don't like Han Solo. I don't think Han Solo is anywhere near one of the greatest characters in the franchise. I'm also not a huge fan. I mean, he's fine. It's not like I dislike him. He's there. He's cool. But I don't think he's an overall interesting character. But one of the more exciting things about this movie to me is the idea that they can make him more interesting to me.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, like you're going to have a lot of backstory. And,
I think a lot of it, what comes down to me, is like how you felt with Infinity War, that there's no stakes.
I guess. I mean, he's not going to die.
Neither's Lando, neither's
You know,
Chewie, neither's
Chewie's not going to
Millennium
die.
Falcon.
Lando's not going to die. You can anyone else. All the other characters could potentially die. But my counter argument to this, and this is one that you hear a lot, is I basically went into Rogue One knowing that they were all going to die, or had to die, and that movie was still enthralling from start to finish just to see the mission, like how the mission.
I think it works
took
that
place.
way is because they're all new characters. There's no one that you already know.
but
I guess, but I'm just interested to learn.
I think it
Yeah,
comes
I
down
think
to a joke
from-
that I read. Like, I don't always need to know where something comes from. Like, I like Angelina Jolie, but I don't need to see John Voight's balls to see where she come from.
that's something special. I don't think this movie for me needs to have stakes. Like,
You prefer chicken
I
breast?
guess. Well, it depends on what I feel like. But I'm not going to compare it to movies, but say, if you read The Lord of the Rings, would you want to read The Hobbit? Even though you kind of know how The Hobbit ends.
Bilbo Baggins doesn't die.
Yeah, that Bilbo Baggins isn't going to die. He's going to end up with the ring and he's going to go back to the Shire. That's going to happen.
Spoilers for The Hobbit.
Yep, big spoilers for The Hobbit. Sorry. It's fairly old now.
I'm pretty sure The Hobbit's just spoiled if you watch the
To
first
be
Lord of the
fair-
Rings movie.
Well,
so.
That's not a very good comparison because The Hobbit came before Lord of the Rings.
It did, but I'm saying if you read Lord of the Rings first,
you watch the
movies first, would that stop you? Like, would that take away from reading The Hobbit? Because what it is informed. Like, I'm looking forward to Han Solo because I'm looking forward to the character development of Han Solo. Like, how did he become the person that we know? Because the Han Solo in that trailer has some of his characteristics, but then also shows some characteristics that we don't see in the current version of Han Solo that we know. But also then, grow more on these relationships of fill in more of that Lando relationship, fill in more of the Chewie relationship, because I remember I always felt weird about A New Hope. I always felt super weird about A New Hope at the start of it, because I was like, what the hell is with Darth Vader? Like, he just walks in, he's just immediately pissed off, he's just throwing shit around. But then after watching Rogue One, where I instantly know, right, this guy has just literally watched this spaceship fly away from the battle. He knows they have the plans on the ship. He's fought through waves of freaking rebels to get to it. He's finally caught it, and they're telling him, no, this stuff's not there. It gives me more of an understanding. Now I appreciate the start of A New Hope more, because I know what's happened to Darth Vader in the recent time leading up to that. I guess I look forward to this movie, or the set of movies if they release more, that it not only lets me enjoy the movie, but it makes me appreciate the original Star Wars movies even more, because I now understand the character a lot better.
Anything in the trailers stand out to you, Ash?
It reminded me of Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Especially with those war scenes
That's not a
that
good thing.
reminded me of the start of Firefly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Did it-
Western.
Did it make it
Interesting.
semi-obvious that Woody Harrelson's character is going to betray him?
I don't think that's semi-obvious.
I think it's
'Cause,
100.
No
you know,
guarantees.
Because, like, he says the line, just believe that everybody's going to betray you from the start and you'll be fine. Is that just like an obvious pinboard? So when he eventually does betray you, it's like betray
Or
him.
is it
it's
a
like,
misdirect?
Well, it could be. You know what? I should stop taking too much from the goddamn trailers as fact, because with both, the Avengers, the last Star Wars movies, the trailers get changed that much, and there's so much.
They also shoot scenes that
Yeah.
they literally make scenes literally for the trailers
Yeah.
these days. They've been doing that even since The Force Awakens. If you even go back and watch The Force Awakens, there's so much stuff that's in those trailers that are never seen in the movies.
Yeah.
That they just put in there, and they'll waste. Well, not waste, because it helps sell the movie, but they'll put really, really cool moments or try shots in these trailers and never include them in the final product,
Yeah.
just as a way to help the marketing. Which of those two trailers, though, do you prefer? I think the feature thing sells the movie a lot
I
better.
agree with that.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them both for their own, on their own, in their own kind of echo chambers. I like the stylized first one, but then the second one, you get a lot of the conversation and the talking from the people who have made it that can fill in more about what's going on in the movie or just their insight on the movie.
One of my favorite parts is when Emilia Clarke's describing Han as this, reckless guy who does crazy things that just happen to turn out to go right, which is the Han we all know.
Yep.
And then they have that moment of him just like, and like jumping off the ship onto the train, just screaming. Him screaming, jumping off that reminds me of A New Hope, when he runs down to see all the stormtroopers and then runs down the corridor just screaming, kind of, that reckless but kind of funny at the same time, just screaming down the corridor.
Yep.
And it's moments like that you see in the trailer, and a couple other moments where you're like, that's Han, that's Han, that's Han. And then you get the times where he says, you'll see him smile a lot, or, these slight things that are showing that, it's not fully I hate everyone and everything, or completely down on everything that's happening in my life. He doesn't hate everything yet, I guess,
No.
which is good. It's a good combination of things. And you get Lawrence Kasdan in there, OG Star Wars.
Did he write this, or is it?
Yeah, Lawrence started writing it, and his son finished writing it. Like, so Lawrence started writing this movie.
You got
We're
tired.
in episode 2, I kind of want to go through the whole history of the movie because it's really interesting to break down
What
literally
happened?
how this movie started from the start and all the things that happened to it over the years until we get to this moment. But yeah, Lawrence Kasdan started writing it, and then he moved on to start writing The Force Awakens, and then brought in his son to finish writing the script. Is how it works. So it's a movie written by the Kasdans, who of course wrote Empire and worked on parts of Jedi, and well, the most famous, because Empire is the most big one up. So that is a going factor for it, that it is written by the most renowned writer for Star Wars, I guess. Okay, so I kind of want to start with the characters, work through and try and piece together the story, the characters, what we think is going to go on, because I've mentioned this when we did our solo reacts. I think this movie is really interesting because it's probably the one we know the least about, which is really weird considering it has the most amount of characters that
we
you'd
know,
think
yeah.
you'd know in it. Yeah. It's like, if you ask, that's why I gave you the synopsis. The synopsis is, hey, it's a movie with Han Solo and Lando in it. Like, if you notice, it doesn't really give you much of a plot. Even Rogue One, which I don't have the official synopsis, that movie synopsis was like, a group of rebels get the plans for the Death Star, blah, 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 blah. You know, big thing. So you have an idea what that movie's about. You watch all those trailers, you could get an idea of how that movie's going to play out. Band of rebels get together, go steal the plans, something bad happens. Every time I watch a Solo trailer, every time I read something about it, I just find it so interesting how they're managing to keep the overall structure and story of this movie kind of under wraps.
I think
that's
watching
really interesting.
watching that trailer and then watching the teaser, I think it's helped me piece together the movie a bit more now than I think I had previously. I think there's sections where I kind of think, all right, this is going to take place here now, and this is here.
But I'm sure you said that about The Last Jedi. Oh,
I did.
that space fight with Leia and Kylo is going to be at the end of the movie. No, it's like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But I think let's, like, you know, yeah. But on the other hand, I was pretty right with a lot of, like, the first half of, and the last, like, hour, like half an hour of Avengers. There was only a couple bits that I missed in my mental image. So fuck you, Ashley. I can do it. I can do it.
This is Star Wars, not Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, this is...
Lucasfilm is different from Marvel Studios.
Well, it's all
believe it or not.
Disney. They all do it.
No, it's not.
They all hold hands.
No.
They all clap. They're all... Look,
Disney just puts the bills. They pay the bills, but they don't make any creative
It's a multicultural
choices.
company, okay?
Yep, that's spot on. Okay, let's start with I'm going to start with the lower side characters, and then we'll build up to the bigger ones. So I've got kind of descriptions that have been given from Lucasfilm, and we're going to tell you all about the characters and peoples that are going to be showing up in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So the first one you have is L337, which is Lando's robot. It's being voiced by... Fuck, how do you pronounce that? Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
The chick
Phoebe?
who sounds just like...
Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. But
Sure,
it
that one.
sounds just like the lady who plays Captain Phasma.
It sounds like... Yes, she does.
like
Here in the trailer, it sounds exactly like her.
even watching it back then, when we have gone back, when we did the reacts to the trailer originally, and we were like, "Who is that?" And we checked. Even watching that, I'm like, "Are you sure it's a different
Gwendolyn
person?"
Christie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope, not... But it's not. It's all. It does sound like her, though. So she is a one-of-the-kind droid who has been assembling and improving herself with the scraps of other droids, and she pieced her torso together from an old astromech.
She's a cannibal.
And she's being portrayed by motion capture by Phoebe, whatever I said, Waller-Bridge. So every movie so far, the spin-offs, I suppose it's just becoming a thing at this stage
To have
to
a
introduce
robot.
have a new robot, have it motion performance by someone, which I'm fine with. I mean, as long as they keep them interesting. It's not like this L3 character looks anything like what's his fuck from Rogue One, and none of them look like C-3PO or R2-D2 or
BB-8.
BB-8, so it's fine. I'm intrigued. And it's a girl robot this time. Like most of them are male robots.
Robots don't have genders.
They don't.
Portrayed by males.
It's odd
okay?
that,
Let me
like-
clarify.
Okay.
Most of the
Is
droids,
R2D2 a male?
most of the droids that are like main characters have a personality, but everyone else in the galaxy treats droids as like servants.
Well, the Empire does. The Empire has a strict, like, the droids are droids. They're not people. Don't treat them like people. They're things.
I don't know. If C-3PO was my slave, I would have got rid of him ages ago. Like, I think they actually like C-3PO and R2-D2 and stuff.
You like C-3PO?
No,
And R2-D2?
I said they like C-3PO and
Oh,
R2-D2.
no, I don't think they would.
I said if he was my slave, I'd get rid of him because he's terrible.
Well, no, like in the Rogue One, they're all friends of that. I can't remember the character name. The main assassin.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like that's his friend.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, outside of... It just seems to be part of the DNA of Star Wars that each movie has to have a companion droid where every other droid seen in the movies are considered as slaves. Like, you don't see that kind of relationship in the...
But we don't see...
Maybe it's a choice.
It might be.
Obviously,
we don't really
it's a
see
choice.
much. We don't really see much from, like, what other relationships do we get to see a lot of other than the Empire ordering round robots and just, like, maybe quick, like,
Watto and his
interactions and
droids.
stuff. Pardon?
You'll see. You'll
but
see a
that's
bunch
Watto.
of.
I would not
You'll see
expect
a bunch of people like working in the background during the Rebel stuff. But for all you know, like, what's the difference between a bunch of astromechs running around in the background just doing their job than humans just running around in the background doing their job? You just assume that the astromechs and whatever else have been told, you do better do this, but they're just doing their job. You know, they got jobs. The humans have got jobs. You don't see them being treated badly, so let's just assume that they're being treated good.
So that's
Dylan's way of the world. I have not seen them be treated badly. Let's just assume they're being treated well. Okay, Dylan.
Look,
as
it's all
far
the
as I know,
droid's choice.
400 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. The Empire was your choice. No one. The Empire was definitely your choice. All right. So next character we got who's Rio Durant. However you want to say it. No sweet fuck all about this thing. It is a monkey-looking character. You see say one line in one of the trailers, but it is being voiced by Jon Favreau. Which is,
really?
I suppose cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I suppose it's cool to have
cool
Jon Favreau.
design.
Having
Yeah,
Favreau
I mean,
on is really
He's
cool.
got 4 arms.
He reminds me
Looks
of
like-
like a mechanic-looking dude.
Yeah,
kind of
he's
thing.
gotta be a
That's
mechanic,
the vibe
right?
I get. Yeah,
With the visor.
yeah, with
goggles.
the visor and everything.
Could
yeah,
be
the
a
goggles.
pilot.
And then like, it could be a pilot of some sort. I guess.
Nah, I think he's a mechanic.
Or he's a ninja.
He's got too many hands.
Because
to pilot
non-humans
anything.
can't be pilots. Is that what
They
you
can't
said?
be
Yeah.
pilots. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Chewie flew.
Have you ever
the
seen
Millennium
a droid pilot? No. You ever
Yes.
see?
Did you watch The Last Jedi?
Did you watch literally the whole of the prequel trilogy?
Yeah.
No.
Roger.
Sheed.
Yep. Fuck that one up. Yeah. So I don't know. He looks cool. I mean, I'm cool. It's cool to have Jon Favreau doing a voice. You
I
know,
hope he
like
gets
Jon
a
Favreau,
decent,
so-
like, it's not just like a really small bit part that's just been given a name.
Oh,
because
he'll
it's-
probably have like max 10 minutes,
Yeah, that's fair. That's enough.
but it's fine. I think Jon Favreau has a unique sounding voice. Like I can pick Jon Favreau's voice out whenever he speaks and stuff.
Will
so,
they take you out of it, though?
Nah. No. It should be fine. That's no different than
Seeing Liam
me
Neeson.
being able to. Yeah. It would be worse if it was Liam Neeson. Although I can go back and watch The Phantom Menace, and I'm not watching it going, Qui-Gon Jinn, your daughter is about to be taken. You know, like watching Taken doesn't ruin going back to watch Qui-Gon Jinn, so it's fine. Even though anything I watch now of recent Liam Neeson, all I think about is Taken.
That's because it's all
Anything.
taken.
That's because
Well,
it's all
that is true.
taken. It's
That
just
is true.
taken on a
That is
train.
good point. That is a good point. All right. So the bad guy, or what we presume the bad guy is, or who we're being told the bad guy is, because of course everything could be red herrings of sorts, is Dryden Voss, which the name was interesting, and they did a good job to point out that although there is a Jedi with the last name Voss, Lucasfilm like put in the official bio, he just happens to have the last name, shares the last name with a Jedi, but he's not related. Because as soon as they put out the name first, or the name got leaked or something like that. So then, of course, everyone online is it's related. Like maybe he's a Jedi. Blah blah blah. And they're like, no, better squish that theory hot fast.
Well, he had those things with the like a laser on the edge, laser edged things.
Yeah, like a laser. I don't know, but they're not lightsabers.
Throwing off
They're
the
just like,
extent he actually is related.
I don't know, it'd be weird. That'd be a really, really, really weird connection. Because the Jedi he's related to is in like Clone Wars, and he has a book, but no one knows who the fuck he is. Like general movie going audience, so it's just
is he human?
That'd be really weird. And he's human. He dies though, and he never has kids as far as we know. So
as far as you know,
as far as I know, well, he was fucking a Sith lady, so
right.
Okay,
And this guy's bad. Kid confirmed.
Kid confirmed. All right, lock it in. There you go. There's your
weird scars on his face. Definitely a Sith.
He has been described though as the leader of the Crimson Dawn, which is a underground empire of sorts, I suppose. We don't know anything about them. They are a new underground organization within the Galactic Empire. Blah, blah, blah. He's been described as being known for being ruthless and a crude cutthroat, and he surrounded himself with luxury. Which means he probably, to me, reads as he's probably the type of evil bad guy that collects like artifacts and shit.
Wilson Fisk.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some Jedi helmets from the Old Republic or some random Easter egg like that to tease shit in the background at some stage. Like he seems like that kind of bad guy, which they have done in the comics. You know, like a hut that collects Jedi artifacts or something like that because it's considered this whole thing. Paul Bettany, of course, is portraying him.
Love Paul.
The behind the scenes interesting thing about it is this is the character that was being originally portrayed by Michael Kenneth Williams, however you say it, who was playing the character as an alien in motion capture. And apparently the character was going to resemble something of a mountain lion.
That sounds stupid.
No, there's that race because they were in the Thrawn book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
stupid.
So that was originally how it was being filmed, and then when they fired Phil and Christopher Miller, and they brought in Ron Howard, they didn't fire Michael straight off the bat, but he had filming conflictions, and he was unable to come back and do the reshoots that were necessary. So then they had to recast his role, and they brought in Paul Bettany to now just play it as a human character. Which is, of course...
I think that makes it less interesting.
I think it makes it a lot less interesting also. I think the idea of an alien bad guy was more just cooler, you know? Like, you're used to seeing humans. Plus, when I think of Underworld in Star Wars universe, I think of huts.
Because
humans
are all
and Jabba's palace. Yeah, humans are all not involved in that. Well, there's some amount of humans, but it's mostly... 90% aliens in my mind, especially when you picture Jabba's palace. It's like you've got
sense because
bounty hunters, but
because the Empire is pretty much discriminatory against anyone but human.
Well, they are, yeah. Apart from like Thrawn and a couple other people, I suppose.
There's
rare occasions. It's all male humans. It's what they need in there. Don't want nothing but else. All right. Anyone got any thoughts on Dryden being the big bad of this movie and what you think he might be up to?
I don't know.
Not seen enough of him. He's probably they're going to be stealing from him something, I guess, and then that's
they're either going to be stealing from him or
working for him secretly.
Working for him is the go-to, and then like maybe fuck up or betray him later.
Okay,
you know,
that's fair.
Let's not forget this is a Han Solo movie. He's not going to be working for the police. You know, he's not working for the Empire.
No, he's not working for good. But I didn't know if he was they were going to steal from him. And then
in the original trailer, or the second one, whatever it was, you hear Woody Harrelson's character say, "Putting together a team for a job." Like someone wants a team, something along those lines. So I suppose the easy assumption to make is that the person that wants the team together, if it's not Woody Harrelson, and has to be this guy, I guess. But then you see him fighting at some point in the trailer, so something might go bad, or it could all be a red herring, and Woody Harrelson's character or something along those could be the bad guy, and we don't really know.
John Favreau's character is the bad guy.
Woody Harrelson could betray Han Solo.
What if it's Lando?
Real bad guy.
That's how they have a falling out.
Nah. I don't reckon you make Lando the big bad. They'll just piss people off.
If you're setting this up for a trilogy, which they Think good.
You're
one
gonna
Are
need
they
Donald
really?
Glover for. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
then-
wouldn't.
my
Yeah,
God.
that's rumors.
then you don't want Lando to be out in the first film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want people hating him either. You don't want people hating Han either. You know, you don't want people
Too late.
hating Han or Lando, I guess.
Oh. The actual disappointment on Nick's face is.
He's like, too bad. I already fucking hate everyone. Next character we have is Val. I find this one interesting. So this is being portrayed by Thandie Newton, who, that's it. We don't have a last name or nothing. It's just like, hey, I'm playing a character called Val. Do we know anything about her? No. Bunch of promotional images. See her a couple times in the trailers. She's got a poster. The most weird thing is
Is she
when
sentient?
we first saw her. Yeah, well, she's in Westworld. Very good. But the most interesting thing is
very good.
She was Sansa Starro. Was what everyone was guessing she was, which is Han Solo's wife in the comics.
Yeah.
Or like a person he was married to for a certain period of time. And when she came out, everyone was going, "Oh, that's who she is. She's Sansa." And then like, "Oh no, you make the same stupid connections as you did with Finn back in the day. Oh, there's a black girl in the movie,
It
so
must
it must be the one black girl from the
Star
comics.
Wars comics, yeah.
That must be the same character from Star Wars comics. Could be a jump, but at the same time, that is a character that is appearing in the Last Shot book at the moment, and also a character that when they meet in the comics, they appear to have such a big history, and a character that you could easily put into this movie without having to have read anything, you know, because it'd be set before the comic stuff. So it's not like it would ruin it for people who aren't keeping up with the extended universe material. She could come in as this brand new character for everyone watching. And then there is the fact that she's just called Val, and they've given you nothing about her apart from going, "Nah, not her. She's Val." Okay, tell us more. No, not telling you shit. Okay, that's interesting. Anyone got anything to say about Val?
Not really. I'm excited to see who she is. I hope she's not the obvious choice. Like, I hope she's something
She's
else.
the bad
but
guy.
At the same time,
Could be.
She's going to be
Fuck
the
no.
Captain Phasma.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't think she is. Son of Starros, but I think she might be a bounty hunter or something like that. Is my guess.
She
She's
seems
a-
like the henchwoman type.
Django's
Yeah.
wife.
So, please no. That'd be really weird. No, I just think she's a
I
bounty
don't know if
hunter.
that works
who-
in the timeline, does it?
No, that definitely doesn't work. I mean, unless she's like, survive. I don't know.
It's more like Boba Fett's wife.
Yeah, Boba Fett's wife, sure. If Boba Fett gets married. I think she's just going to be a bounty hunter that gets sent after Han or something at some stage like that. Maybe they steal an item, don't bring it back to what's his face, he wants it, Dryden.
Yep.
do you
And
reckon
then they
there's going
send
to
Val
be
after.
more than one heist, or is it going to be?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There's gonna be
Well,
several?
the train heist is probably the big one where they're going after the item or whatever they want. That appears to be the big thing. There's also the group. You see the people in the trailer who he's doing the whole Western Showdown thing, pulling
Yep.
out the thing on the beach. Who exactly they are, don't know. Why are they fighting Han? Don't know. Are they on a planet where they're protecting it, or are they people after the same item he is, and he's having to deal with them? Maybe they get the item. Maybe he has to steal it back off them. Don't know. There's a whole bunch of interesting things. So, Woody Harrelson is playing Tobias Beckett, who is criminal, served as a mentor to the young Han Solo during the reign of the Galactic Empire, being portrayed by Woody Harrelson. He's a smuggler, gambler, card player, all sorts of things. So that's who he is officially being described as the mentor of Han Solo, though.
I really hope that his character, if they're going to do more movies, is an ongoing character. Because, the easiest option for them is, to be a mentor in this first bit, and then he either dies, betrays him, or leaves him. I kind of want him to be ongoing, so there's more of a build.
You want him to be the Sully.
Yeah, like a Sully from Uncharted,
Yeah.
or the same kind of role that Woody Harrelson already did in the crappy
Hunger Games movies.
Hunger Games movies. Yeah, that kind of role of mentor that is ongoing, because a lot of people in Star Wars that, other than maybe like Obi-Wan and Anakin, and a lot of people's mentors die pretty quickly. Just
I think the whole betrayed by the mentor thing's a bit played out personally, and I would prefer to see him actually just be a legit good guy. It's like kind of like what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yondu.
That's who I
Yondu.
want him to be.
Yondu.
Space Daddy.
What? Yeah, Yondu. I want him to
Mary
be like
Poppins.
the Yondu
Yeah.
for Han Solo. So, maybe he portrays him a little bit, but then like comes back around because he's really quite attached to him, especially by the end of the movie kind of thing. That's more the role I'd prefer to see him play than just the typical, oh, he turned on you because there was money involved, or something a bit boring like that. Anyone got any more opinions on Tobias?
Not
I like
particularly.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
I
He
like
looks
the
like
Woody
Woody
Harrelson
Harrelson in this movie.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson looks like Woody Harrelson in most movies, let's be honest. But Woody Harrelson's a great actor, so.
He's great at playing Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson.
Do you not like Woody Harrelson?
I love Woody Harrelson, but Woody Harrelson is Woody
Nick's
He's a great
Harrelson.
just-
actor.
Nick's just got the diarrhea. He just needs to continue to have things to crap on.
No.
Squirt all
Not
over the
crapping on
place.
everything.
Almost everything.
All right. So next up, we got Lando Calrissian. What did I say
Calrissian.
before?
Calrissian.
I was trying to say, what did I say
it was
before?
like
I was
you
trying to fuck
said,
it up again.
Collision.
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 That's it.
Collision, that's
So
what
next
you
up, we
said,
got Lando
Collision.
Calrissian, who, we all know, becomes the Baron Administrator of Cloud City at some stage, betrays Han, then ends up blowing up the second Death Star. How he gets to that point, don't really know. At some stage in this movie, he's going to lose the Falcon to Han, presumably in a game of Sabacc. Or unless they want to change that, I guess they can, but that would be silly. That's just how it's going to go. And at some point, so the only other thing we've ever seen between Lando, other than like pre-episode 4, was he was in a couple episodes of Rebels where he was running a mining operation on Lothal, which is where he's trying to set up a legit enterprise. Because, of course, when he's on Cloud City, when we originally meet him, he is trying to be legit as far as he can. Trying to be get into legit business. It's kind of like when you watch mobster movies and they start out all running shitty kind of things, and then they better try and turn it legit now. Better
Like
try and turn it legit
Riverdale.
now. Yeah, like Riverdale. Yeah, exactly. good connection.
Yeah.
So in this movie, though, he's still very much smuggler. You see him in the trailer described as the best smuggler, and that's who they send Han over to. Lando, here he is, best smuggler, and he's got the Falcon. It's very shiny, very pretty. We've already seen Han in one of the movies tell Lando that he hated how he had the Falcon when he had it, which is all very clean, pretty, boring. Just straight up, everything's nice. And then Han gets it and kind of rubs mud all over the walls and
I saw the joke.
puts it through the ringer.
He made his own modifications. His modifications were dirt.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess.
Stops cleaning it. Just, yeah. Not my
And
thing.
he's being portrayed by Donald Glover in this movie. This is the
Yes.
character I'm most excited for seeing. The one who, straight out of the gate, from the very first trailer, which I wasn't sold on. I didn't like Han in the original teaser. I wasn't quite happy with his portrayal in that. But the one thing straight away was Lando looks fucking cool.
Yeah, but that's just because
And-
it's Donald Glover.
Yeah, but
That man
like,
can
it's
make anything
it's
look
perfect
cool.
casting. Like, you can't complain. You
Yeah.
can't just be like, oh yeah, but it's Donald Glover. Like, it's perfect casting.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised by people being excited for Lando or Lando looking cool. It's just expected.
Are you happy for this one, Nick, or are you going to shit on
No,
Lando
it's
too?
literally the only reason I will be going to watch this movie.
Do you reckon there's a chance that Lando does not get as much screen time as you might think he might?
Quite a high
might do?
chance.
I reckon he's going to
Yeah.
get tops, and this is high pushing it, tops 15, 20 minutes
Yeah.
screen time.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be part
Yep.
of the crew or whatever they're forming.
Nope. I reckon there will be the scene where they meet, which you see, he's sitting around the table. They're going to play at some stage. I don't know how he tricks him into playing him for the the Falcon. Like, I don't know how he makes him make.
Well, there was a
the
line
pink
in the
slips.
trailer goes, "Did you win your card? Did you ship playing cards or whatever?"
Yeah,
And so he go.
but-
I reckon you'll go. Well, how about you put it on the line or something like that?
Yeah, but it just seems so easy to tilt Lando to be like, oh fuck it, I'll put my
Well, he's
pride
so
and joy
cocky.
on the line here. I guess that's true. From what we gather, the rumors are that Han always cheated in that game. That's the thing, or maybe that they both cheated, but Han out cheats Lando, who's trying to cheat, which is going to be this funny. I really hope that scene either they can do it two ways. The game goes to begin, scene cuts, Han's won. And that'll be funny to a degree, and I think it might piss off a lot of people. The other way is you have a cool, like, Casino Royale shot sequence or something along those lines, you know, cutting backwards and forwards with them trying to cheat on each side of their table or whatever sly tricks they're trying to pull to each other.
World Series poker.
Yeah, some World Series poker shit going down. But, I mean, that scene has to be the scene most people are excited for that they presume is going to be in the movie. There was a lot of theories when the movie was coming out that would be like, it wouldn't be in the main movie and it would be like an after credit sequence or something along those lines. But I think now watching the trailers, it's pretty obvious it's kind of going to be maybe towards the third quarter of it.
Well, I reckon
I'd guess.
the whole point is that they need a ship for whatever heist they're pulling off, and this is the one.
But then why is Lando flying him in the ship in the trailer?
Could happen earlier in the movie. That's how they get there. That's how he gets the ship on his radar. Maybe he's been smuggled from somewhere.
The
by
way I
Lando.
think,
I don't know.
I think the way this movie starts is there's the scene with.
It has to start with
Han
that battle
Solo.
scene, I reckon.
Yeah, like the scene where Han Solo's got like the
Helmet.
almost like the Endor headgear on that the rebels were wearing in the Endor fight.
Does
like,
there anywhere say
looks
that
scared
he
and
was
shit.
once part of the Empire, like the old EU?
He joined. He is part of
Okay,
the Empire
right.
at some stage. You can gather that by what you see in the trailers and the fact that in the original teaser he's literally signing up for the Empire at the
Yeah.
desk. I'm here to be a pilot for the Empire. Sign me up. Let's go. He either will quit or I guess he gets kicked out or one of the above. You know.
I reckon
I
he
those are the
dreamed
two
to be a
options.
pilot, but then he got put as a foot soldier, and he gets disillusioned.
I think he might even desert. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he
that
might
makes sense.
desert, and then it runs into Woody Harrelson's character.
I think the movie starts. I think the first quarter of this movie is going to do a lot of time jumping. I think it's going to start with him as a teenager, show him on the streets, and then I think it's going to go ahead, and it's going to show him joining up with the Empire, and then you're going to see some of that, and then it's going to cut ahead a little bit further when he gets kicked out. You know, a little bit of a time skip here, jumping around. Not
Do you
like
reckon-
huge gaps, but
He gets kicked out, or he deserts by saving Chewie.
nope.
No,
Nope.
If they're going to follow along the lines of the original story to a bit, which they Ron Howard teased on Twitter, he will go to do a mission somewhere and he'll just happen to find Chewie
Okay.
being a slave and then save him.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, you see him on the trailers. There's that part where Chewie says his name and he's like, "I'm calling you that. That's too
That
long."
looked
so
like
I'm
on
gonna
a
have to give you
dock
nickname."
somewhere. Like that looked like it was either.
They're looking over a bridge or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but that's definitely not like that. Doesn't look like start a movie or anything like that. So, what do you think the difference is? The big differences will be with Lando in this movie compared to episode 5 Lando that everyone knows the most.
I think this
What
Lando.
characteristic differences?
I think this Lando will be more.
Overconfident.
Yeah, will be more overconfident, more suave, more full of himself. Hasn't had anything in his life really knock him down or kick him back at all yet. Like he's probably strutted through his life at the moment, so
Yeah.
he doesn't need to.
In my opinion, in Empire, he was a defeated person. That's why he bowed down to the Empire and everything like that.
You
Yeah.
think? Bow down to the Empire.
Well, he betrayed everyone
What do you-
for whatever.
Like I think he's just at the this point in time. I think he's at the point in his life where he thinks he's bulletproof
Yeah.
to an extent. Like he thinks he can talk his way out of any situation.
Fair. You agree, Ash?
Yeah,
Anything?
I agree.
which I think is why, like, what will lead him to betting the Millennium Falcon is that, you know what, fuck it, I don't think I can lose this. And then Han pulls him down a peg.
That's what the falling out will be. Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Han just keeps bringing him down.
I don't reckon they have a falling out in this. I reckon they're friends by the end of this still.
Yeah, I don't think they fall out yet. Like, I think if they're planning to do this over, if they're planning to do more than one movie about Han Solo's character,
I don't think they've planned it. It's not like they have a story set out. I just think that they hope they can do more than one movie.
Yeah,
with
if
it.
they can, if they're hoping for that, I really don't want them to like blow their load with everything we know about points in Han's life. Like now, like I don't want. Like, I'll probably save the rest of my speech here for the Han Solo discussion, but yeah, I don't think they need to. They don't need to have everything happen and wrap itself up in this movie.
All right, so next character, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce her name, but it's Emilia Clarke's character, Kira, I guess. It's QI hyphen apostrophe RA.
Kira.
Rachel.
Kira? Yeah?
I don't know. There should be a U in there.
Well,
there should be a U in there.
Kira. I'm going with Kira until I watch the movie and I get proven wrong.
And then they never say her name.
Episode
That'd
3.
be really fucking awkward. So she is she's from Corellia, which is where Han Solo grows up and is born. And the two of them grow up on the streets together. This is as much as we know. So they are like teenage best friends, lovers, partners, whatever you want to call it. Is my guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's the road we're going down. By the time she was 18 years old, Kira had already been immersed in a criminal life working for a gang on Corellia. So I feel like that's why I get the idea that the movie will kind of start when they're a lot younger, just to kind of set up the relationship between those two. And that's where you also get the speed racer scene where they're sitting next to each other and the dice get hung up on the dashboard. I feel like that's pre-Han going to join up with the Empire. Mm-hmm. I feel like she is definitely, like, he's a bit of a naughty boy or whatever, but I feel like she's definitely going to be the one more leaning on the side of the underground lifestyle. And she might heavily go into that at some point, and then Han might go off and join the try and get into the Empire, and then come back out the other end, and then meet back up with her. And she's like, "Hey, meet this guy. His name's Woody Harrelson or whatever the fuck it was, Beckett. Let's do this thing." But just from the way she acts, walks, talks, everything from the trailers we gathered and the information that, by the time she's 18, she's known in the underworld. I feel like she's definitely going to be the one kind of leading Han, not Han's the leading her kind of situation. What does everyone think about the Emilia Clarke character, Kira, or however the fuck we're going to say it?
She's fine.
I like everything I've seen so far. I like Emilia Clarke, so I don't think I'm going to be disappointed with her character. I'm not going to dislike her.
I'll be interested to see if she can pull off a role other than Daenerys. Because everything else...
have you seen Terminator Genesis?
Luckily, no, I haven't.
Point.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I have.
What does everyone think about the theorizing, or my theory that she might be the one leading Han towards the bad lifestyle? Do you think that does something towards the kind of ruin the idea of the Han Solo character that everyone knows and loves as this big badass bad dude?
No.
I'd like it to be that way. That'd be an interesting way to play it.
Fine.
So Woody Harrelson's her dad, correct? Have I read that somewhere? No.
Well, I mean, possibly. For all we know, he could be, but that's not an actual thing.
Maybe that's just something.
We only know one name for her, Kira.
Okay. All right.
Wait, they haven't given her a last name, so
okay,
it's possible.
Okay, interesting. Well, no, I like the idea that she's the bad apple, or the more underground
bad influence.
Yeah, the bad influence. That's the word I was looking for. That she's the bad influence on Han, and Han always has soft spots for specific people. Like, he has a soft spot for Chewie, he has a soft spot for Leia. Maybe she's another one of those people.
I also like the idea. So, in one of the Leia books, they gave her first love, which I always found interesting because it kind of helps when they get to Han. Like, that wasn't the first person she fell in love with, and as we know for Han, everyone likes to believe, for all his life he was just like, never fell in love with everyone, never got attached to any girls, and kind of just like a bit of a playboy, much like Lando, I guess. But I like the idea that maybe at some point he was in love with another girl, could like Kira, and then she could possibly die in this movie, and that kind of affects him down that road of more negative spiral, kind of sends him down that path a bit more if his like positive thing from childhood dies, I guess. Kind of a reason for him to go down that hole, that spiral.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, and then another character before we get to Han. I don't really know how much you say, but so you got Chewbacca. Which, yeah, Chewie.
It's
Chewie's
Chewie.
Chewie.
I'm excited to learn more about Chewie through Han. Like, we get in the other movies, we get, they instantly have this amazing relationship where they know each other back to front, inside out. So to have the point where they're a blank slate to each other, I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most interesting part about it, just seeing how they get their relationship going, especially from
he gets the
Dave
life
Dot
debt.
when we meet them.
How Chewie ends up being in a life debt to him. Or is that not canon
so
anymore?
it's like, how's that happen, I guess. I suppose that's maybe just after Han saves him, if you're going to go down the road that Chewie was in slavery somewhere or something like that, then if Han saves him, that could be that's the easy life debt given situation there, I suppose.
Yep.
But I feel like learning more about Chewie and Han's relationship and about how they learn to co-pilot together and get along and all that sort of stuff, that's very much growing on Han's character more so. I just wonder how much you can do to grow a character like Chewie that is told through someone else. Everyone has to repeat what he says. Like, oh, he said this. And how much room there is to really emote that character. There's not really that much. It is being portrayed. This movie is also, he's being portrayed by Jonas Sultamo or whatever, like the Finnish or Swedish dude who did some parts for Chewie in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. His first whole movie of playing Chewie, but I mean, it's Chewie. Whatever. He'll be cool. I don't think there's much to.
No.
I'll be interested if I come out of this movie and go, holy shit, Chewie's story and that was really great. Like, he was one of the best characters.
If he eats a bunch of aliens, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'll be scary.
Oh my god, like little paw,
Little
chicken?
puffin-looking penguin things.
No, I believe they're only on one planet he hadn't been to quite yet. He's still a ways off visiting that planet.
But how did he know how to properly prepare them?
I know.
This is
Like,
true.
how did he know the anatomy to de-wing them and everything?
Maybe they're extinct, hunted to
That's the
extinction
sound
on
that
other
Chewie was
planets.
making as he was about to cook them and stuff.
I don't know. All right, so then we got Han Solo.
Do we?
Male
Never heard of
smuggler.
Oh, shit, I didn't
Smuggler.
know he was in this movie.
Become a leader in the Alliance to restore the Republic. Instrumental fighter in the defeat of the Galactic Empire. And then General. Father to evil dude later in life.
Pincushion.
Being portrayed in this film by Alderaan Explosion.
Do you reckon we see him do the Kessel Run in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Done. I reckon that's part of
I
the
don't.
mission. Yep.
Well,
Why?
if they are thinking to expand it into a three movie series, like, why blow your load on everything in the first movie?
Well, that's what I said before. I don't think they're planning on it. Like, I just think they have hopes that they'll be able to do that, but I don't think they're betting too much in the basket.
I don't
I
think
think
it
they're being
makes
smart
sense.
about it.
Meets Chewie, meets Lando, does all this stuff, and he does the Kessel
Does
Run all in
everything
one
he's
go.
famous for in the span of like fucking 5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think this movie, as I've said I think this movie takes place over a lot longer period of time than user all thinking.
But even still, to
suppose that's
us, it's
because
just one movie.
I guess, but like, I suppose most Star Wars movies happen over a short period of time.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I don't
Like
really...
Last Jedi happens in an hour.
Other than the start... other than the start, I don't want the rest of the movie to be bouncing over years and years and years. Like,
No, it'd be like
Well, not
Rogue
years
One.
ago.
You get a flashback, and then you'll jump to present
Why not?
day.
To my knowledge, there isn't any flashbacks in Star Wars, is there?
No, well, there's
I
not.
guess The Last Jedi, technically.
Well, that's more a vision than a flashback.
there is
Retelling, so I guess technically a flashback.
There's the part where Jin like flashes back and remembers her dad at some stage, like for a couple of seconds, and their life. Or
Or where it
seeing the
shows
city and stuff.
Jin and the general at like the house party thing.
That was the very beginning of the movie.
That's at the start.
linear.
That's at the
Is
very
it?
start. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's fine. But I think there is like that couple seconds where she pictures seeing her dad and whatever else. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, a little bit of, but I don't know if that's a proper flashback though. Doesn't really count, I guess.
Oh my god.
You got your big speech on Han Solo then, Ciaran, or you got?
Not my big speech, but I don't look. All I wanted to say was just, I don't want this movie to start with this new Han Solo. I don't want it to be like all of a sudden at the end, holy shit, he's like the Han Solo that we knew in the movies. Like, I don't want that to be the case. Like, I don't want him to go from this, I got a good feeling about this kind of optimistic shit, to all of a sudden being a pessimistic bastard. Like, I don't want to.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what I think. Like, if he's really attached to Kira, and they grow up together and they kill her off, that I feel like that's a
I think
reason.
that could be the start of it, but I don't know. I don't like the idea that it's so quick. Which, as you said, if it's over a long period of time, then maybe not. But yeah, that's what I hope. And look, for Han Solo, as I've already said, like I like the optimism of this character. I like seeing that there's elements of the character that's still the same as the later version of Han Solo, but there's a lot different to his life. Like, I still think he needs to be like this character that's full of potential and just natural talent, but still very like rough around the edges and unmolded almost as like a character.
What do you get from the trailers that makes you think he's optimistic? Because I'm not getting that from the trailers at all. I don't sense any
just
optimism
stuff like
from him
saying, I've got a good feeling about this. Just his general outlook on stuff. Like, whenever he's
feels more positive.
Yeah, like his whole character's, the way it acts, feels more positive.
He smiles a lot more.
Like, there's more. He says something along the lines of, "Oh, I got this," or something like that when they're talking about something being bullshit or impossible in one of the trailers. Like, just his general outlook seems to be a lot more positive than the Harrison Ford Han Solo, which is, pessimistic and instantly down on everything.
Yeah. All right. My last question about Han is going to be, knowing the kind of lifestyle he gets into and how his life ends up, how do you see him being born into, like, how's he born into this all? That's
like
something no one ever really
else.
thinks of. Like, is he an orphan? Is he, just grows up in a bad period because of the Empire and just turns to,
I'm gonna be cool
to a life of crime?
I'm gonna be cool if his parents were like politicians or something like that.
I just reckon he grows up just in like a normal Empire family.
Yeah.
Grows up and lives the Empire life, like goes on to, like they probably are upper class people, like, and he goes on to live a life, and then he does the normal thing, which is to go join the Empire after learning how to fly. And
Which
stuff,
I reckon he makes the Emilia Clarke character like outside of, I don't know, his circle or whatever, and that's how he falls to that kind of life.
Yeah, and
That could work.
then his life changes.
So I
a
think
lot,
just
and
growing up a street rat is just too, I don't know, cliche.
common,
I
too
guess.
normal to everything that's always done.
Well,
And I don't
if you look at Luke, grows up, dreams of joining the Empire. That's basically the dream of most kids, I guess. Like, they don't know the Empire's bad. It's very much Empire, great. I'd love to grow up and join the Empire.
Doesn't Luke hate the Empire at the start? Like,
No.
not hate, but dislike it. Like, does he want
No,
to
he was
join the
training.
rebels?
He wanted to join the Naval Academy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, that's fine. I just didn't watch that.
I want to go join off. Can't wait to go run off and join the fucking Empire. I want to be a pilot. That's a big dream.
Okay.
If you had to watch all the time on TV, the Emperor or someone else going, these rebels, they're killing all our people, like they're trying to do bombing attacks on you. You know, it's all propaganda. That's how you grow up. You know, this is. It's, I suppose it's like growing up in fucking North Korea these days. Or like, what's the something like that? I guess that's just you get told that the world's a certain way and this is how things are, and that's what you grow up believing. I guess so. It would make sense for Han to grow up much the same, wanting to join the Empire in some regard, become a pilot some way, and then stuff goes wrong. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the first episode of Alderaan Explosion.
Now that was a ride. That was a ride. There was, there was a
That
whole
was a
bunch
Star
of
Wars
things.
story.
There was some optimism. There was some toilet crapping on things. There was some Ashley moments. This has been a fantastic show already. What a season 2.
Season 2 better than season 1.
Let's not go
6
that
seasons
far.
in a movie.
Okay, let's go that far. Next week, join us as we'll be breaking down. I'll talk a bit more about the behind the scenes and exactly what happened over the course of this movie and really go over that. Then talk about if you could write a solo Star Wars movie, what would you think? What would you like it to be about? Break down what do you think the next character should get a solo standalone. It sounds weird to say solo when we're talking about solo.
Exactly,
movie,
which is why it shouldn't have
Obi-Wan.
that name.
who does it?
Should have just been
who
called
deserves-
Han.
Or origin
Han.
story, I guess.
Oh, hi, Han.
Who wants to get an origin story movie next? And then we're going to drop our, of course, obligatory predictions for the Han Solo movie, also leading right up to the run before the movie drops. Where can people follow you, Ash?
Follow me on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY. It's a thing.
Where can people follow you, Nicholas?
You can find my heart in carbonite.
Where can people follow you, Ciaran?
People can follow me at your boy Ringo on Twitters. And over at twitch.tv/Explosion Network, where I like to hang out.
You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. You can head on over to explosionnetwork.com where you can find all the great things, including a Star Wars story in just a couple weeks' time review. Shortly, it'll come up. You can also find the first season of the show where me, Ash, Nick, Buddy Watson, Ciaran, I'll break down. That was everyone, wasn't it? That was on the show?
Yeah, but I was at the end.
Yeah.
I do not
Get angry about the order I present the fucking names.
I do not appreciate my positioning.
Oh my fucking god! Where we broke down each episode, a new movie from episode 1 through to episode 7, leading up to episode 8, and then talked about episode 8. I think some of those discussions hold up well. That you can just listen to still.
Timeless.
It's interesting. Timeless. I feel like
Empire episode's the best.
Yeah, some would say.
No, that last Jedi conversation, that was pretty good.
No, I think the Phantom Menace of the Clone Wars episodes are actually really good. The first 2.
There we go. Old favourites, everyone. You can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at Explosion Pod. Head on over to iTunes. Give the show 5 stars. If this season's shit, just give it 5 stars for the first season. Whatever.
Just give it 5 stars because I'm on it.
Just give it 5 stars because Nick's here.
Because they're my top 5 stars.
Oh, dear Lord. May the force be with you, always.
And also with you, my son.
Hello, it's Ciaran here from the Explosion Network, and this be your ad read from May 2018. If you're a fan of top 10 lists, then boy oh boy do we have a show for you that does just as well as BuzzFeed, WatchMojo, IGN, or anywhere bloody else, to be perfectly honest, but in about half the time. Top 5 with Nick is currently airing in its first season, and the season's theme is video games. We love video games here at the Explosion Network. Join Nick and 2 guests every fortnight as they break down topics like launch games, gaming peripherals, and first-person shooters. Explosion Network's bulletin board. Alderaan Explosion is back this month. Join Dylan and guests for 3 episodes from May 11th in lead up to Solo. It's coming! It's so close! If you're watching Westworld Season 2 at the moment, make sure you follow us over at twitch.tv/Explosion Network for Bevanworld. Our weekly recap and discussion about Westworld. Find it all on our Twitch channel, and once again, twitch.tv/Explosion Network, or over at our YouTube, youtube.com/Explosion Network. Have a fantastic May.